the Buffalo Movie and Video Makers Group up until this past June.
Okay, so you all know who he is then?
Some of them do.
Okay. And Wayne, why are you here? What's the reason?
Because I want to view other films made by Christians.
Okay.
I've been a Christian for like 40 years now.
Okay, but there's a reason that you're here in this. Yeah, give him a big hand. There must be a reason why you're here today, sitting back there, or you just have nothing better to do.
Well, I just came back from Nevada about a month ago.
So you're broke. You were in Vegas.
I didn't gamble it away, but yeah, I am broke.
All right, give him a big hand. Thanks. All right, so everybody has a story inside of us, and I'm going to run down a few things, but then I'm going to spend most of my time talking to you guys and finding out if you have any questions or if you have any thoughts you'd like to share. But I call this, and we don't have the PowerPoint, but you can pretend like there's one up there because you're a creative bunch of people. It's called Make Your Own Hollywood. You don't need to go to Hollywood. You can make your own Hollywood. All right? And people say, well, the devil stole Hollywood. The devil doesn't steal anything. He just imitates it. He manipulates it. At best, he leases it out and he's getting evicted. Okay? You do not have to go there and say, well, I can't believe it. No, God owns everything. It's up to you and I to take it back. All right? So things we're going to talk about is your purpose. We're going to talk about your concept. We're going to talk about the poster, talking about writing the winning script, financing, production, and the next wave of what I believe is going to happen in the way of filmmaking and the way to market it. Now, we're not going to talk about all that today. I'm going to talk about most of it tomorrow. I'm only going to talk about the first thing today, and tomorrow I'm going to charge you $100 a pop for you guys to get in here and learn the rest of it. Just kidding, Sean. But let's talk about your purpose. People go, I want to make a movie. How many people here would like to make a movie? Raise your hand. How many people have made a movie? Raise your hand. Okay. Why? Why do you want to make a movie? First of all, it takes time. It costs money. But why do you want to do that? What is the reason that you would want to make a movie? What would drive you to want to make a movie?
Tricky. To get a message out to people, to move people, to inspire people.
Okay, to inspire.
I like comedy, and so I like to boost people's immune system with the love of God.
Okay.
Getting out the message.
Getting out the message. Okay. Yeah.
Prove that I can do it.
I would prove that you can do it.
Prove that I can do it.
Prove it to yourself.
Yeah.
You want to make an animation.
For me, it would be to show that God's people can do it better.
All right, good. So when people say, I want to make a movie, and again, folks, this is just me giving you some information. It's not the gospel. It's just us here in the room kicking ideas around and me sharing with you what's kept me going all these years to make film after film after film, okay? If you do not have a burning desire, a passion beyond, it can't be stopped. If you do not have that, don't do it. Because you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money. And you're embarrassing yourself and the people who support you when you decide to run, that you're running out of gas. Okay? Your dream, your vision has to be bigger than the devil's plan to take you out. Let me say that again. Your vision, your plan has to be much bigger than the devil's intention and the devil's plan to take you down, because he has a plan. And if you don't have a plan, then you can plan to fail. All right? So I want you to ask yourself, that movie that you want to make, whatever that is, whatever the title of it is, what is your desire? What on a scale from 1 to 10, what's your burning desire? If it is not a 10, you need to take another look at it and go, really, why do I want to make this? Okay? Now, most everyone has said, I want to do it to get my message out. It's a passion of mine. And then also, I want to prove it to myself that I can do it. That's not a bad, listen, prove it to myself I can do it. That's not bad at all. Okay? God does not look down upon that. God actually, I think, honors that. Okay? Because he created you for a purpose. All right? So that's the purpose. Now, write down purpose, and if you have any questions, we're going to go back and talk about purpose, because you might have something that's specific to you. Number 2 is your concept. What is your concept? This is why most filmmakers fail. You know, a lot of people don't know this, but I was a distributor for 20 years. I formed 2 large distribution companies, independent companies. We distributed 1,000 movies all over the world. Why'd I do that? Because after making movie after movie of getting ripped off by distributors, I got mad and I went to a major distributor, not a major, it was what they call mini majors, and I hired their whole staff. I hired them all in one day. I said, I'll pay you double, come to work for me. And they came to work for me, and I started and I did it so that I wouldn't get ripped off. I wanted to collect the money. I wanted to keep the money. I didn't want it, evaporating other people. And so therefore, I started distributing other people's movies, and, it was a really, really nice situation for me because I could learn distribution. I could learn what to make, what not to make. I would talk to the buyers ahead of time in Japan, Germany, and I'd say, what do you like, what do you don't like? But the one thing that causes filmmakers to fail after they get past their burning desire of purpose is concept. Because they don't know the concept. If you can't tell someone in 10 seconds what your movie is about, don't make it. Go back to the drawing board. Just like Last Evangelist. This is the new TV series, Last Evangelist. So it's what is this about? It's one man, a cop, against the system in the last days. Okay? It's CSI meets the book of Revelation. Does that get your attention? Do you kind of know what I'm talking about? What's your concept?
Of you being in like an investigative position?
No, I mean of your movie you want to make.
Mine, well, they call me Lori with the story because I've been investigating for over 30 years, so I've got lots of stories, and I just want to share things that happened to me and how it turned out by the grace of God. That's how
Perfect. Lori with the story. I like that. So it's a documentary?
No, I like comedy.
Okay. Who has a specific movie with a title? Anybody have a movie specific? Let's get you, sir. What is your movie?
I want to do a romantic comedy called What Love Wears. And 10
seconds. Go ahead. What's it about?
Okay, it's about a hedonistic couple, and the young lady falls back into her Pentecostal Christian background, and it creates a lot of friction. And the main theme is, how much can you change for another person to make a romance work?
Not bad, not bad. What's your name?
Richard Santoro.
Give Richard a big hand. Yeah, not bad. We would, if you were in my class and we did this, we would fine-tune that down to 10 seconds. You were like 13 seconds. That was really good. Okay, concept. Concept. What is it? You can tell it in 10 seconds. I'm going to go to somebody that's made, that I saw your movie. Now I want you to tell me your concept.
Oh, I don't have a new concept. I'm just waiting on God.
Wow.
I know I can do it now. Now I'm waiting on the next message.
Perfect. I love it. Talk to God. He's my executive producer, right? Right? I like what you're saying, Lori, with the story. Hi, I'm Lori with the story, and boy, do I have a lot of them. That would intrigue me. I'd go, okay, I want to know your stories, okay? It's a documentary. I don't want to say documentary. It's a movie about Lori with the story, right? Okay, so now that you've got your concept down to 10 seconds, and you're going to practice that in the mirror, someone says, what is it? And you're going to get in the mirror in 10 seconds, time yourself. And it's got to be interesting. It's got to be fun. It's got to be intriguing. is the next thing is, what is your genre? What is a genre? Does anybody know what a genre is? What's a genre? Melissa? Is it? Melissa? Yes. There's several genres. Write this down. Dramas, comedy, horror, action, family. Am I leaving one out? That's not a genre. That's a form of delivery. Sci-fi, yeah. What is it? Black and white is could be, but within black and white there'd be a genre. Maybe drama, but good stab at that. Okay, but, huh? What does what fall in? Dystopian? Well, dystopian's good question. Dystopian's not a genre. Dystopian's it's a situation. You could have a dystopian action movie. You could have a dystopian drama. You could have Laurie with the story make a dystopian, I don't know, comedy holocaust, right? It's not, and this is, but this is serious stuff because this is where we get messed up. This is where we don't, see, distributors, they don't have an imagination. They don't. What you have is you have you who's creative, and you have the audience who's hunger for creativity, but you have a monster between the two of you called a distributor, which doesn't have any creativity. And a lot of them don't even have a soul. They sold it. Even in the Christian world, I don't want to get started in that. I'm not going to start talking about Christian movies. And by the way, who said Christian was a genre? Christian is not a genre. No. You're right. Let me clarify that. What they're trying to say, faith is a genre. Faith is a genre. Within the genre, you can have Christian, you can have Muslim, you can have, I don't know, get naked and go hang out with a bear in the woods, New Age, whatever you want to call it. Faith, it's under faith. That's a genre. People say, well, the Christian, this is where we get in trouble. I do not like Christian movies. I like great movies that have a good story. I like great movies that are made by Christians, but don't show me a Christian movie. What is a Christian movie? It's like, oh, a Christian movie? Oh, what's that about? Yeah. Oh, Melissa, you are so right. Yes, absolutely. If you were to film the Bible, it would be rated X. You would have killing, you would have sex, you would have drama, you would have all kinds of crazy stuff. But yet, they will tell you that you cannot make that kind of movie. So therefore, what are they saying? You can't make a movie about the Bible? Oh, they'll make a movie about Jesus, who looks like the GQ man, who's a white guy. When I was a little younger, looked like me, right? That's nonsense, folks. Jesus never looked like that. Where he came from, it is utter nonsense. That's why I do not watch Jesus movies. I haven't seen The Passion of the Christ, and I got friends with and I know a lot of those people. I don't watch them. People go, why? Because I can read the book, and it ain't going to get any better than the book. Now, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Let's stay with filmmaking. Okay, we got the concept. You've got your concept because you're going to share it in 10 seconds. Now you got the genre, right? What genre is your movie? Drama. Melissa, do you have a movie? Okay. Who wants to raise their hand that has a genre? Genre? Sci-fi. Okay, good. You can mix genres. You can have a family sci-fi. Okay? You could have a comedy drama, a dramedy, so they say. But make sure you're specific in your project of what you have so that you know what you're doing. Because distributors, they don't know. All they know, they don't sell movies, they sell genres. They don't sell movies. Do you follow what I'm saying? They came to me years ago, Fox and Family, and some other companies back in my heyday when I was making, they said, David, we heard you were a Christian. Would you make some faith movies? I go, well, what's the protocol? Well, you can say God, maybe Jesus, but there's so many limitations, but we don't care. Chop suey. We don't care. We'll make a nice poster and sell it and call it Christian because there's a lot of people out there that'll just buy it that don't know any better. And that's what these distributors, that's how they think, okay? And I'm going to say something I don't normally say because it's a small crowd, but we'll take like PureFlix, okay? PureFlix, I've looked at the films on there, and I've seen just pure, and it wouldn't be Flix, okay? Do you understand PureFlix is owned by Japan? It's owned by Sony. It was bought. The guy sold it for billions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. What? You thought what? I thought he was deceitful in doing so. Deceit, yeah. That's Lori with the story right there. She's investigating. I want you to be on my network, David Heavener TV. Okay, let's talk about what they do sell. They don't sell movies, they sell genres, and they sell posters. If you'll go out to my table and look at my poster, it's a nice poster. I'm not bragging, it just is. I know what I'm doing. I've made thousands of them. It's not that I'm good at it, I had to learn it. If I can learn it, you can learn it. When you go to write your script, you're going to have your poster first, right? Or if you have a script, make the poster of your script, fine-tune your genre, and go back and reread your script and say, am I staying true to my genre? Okay? Am I? If not, rip the page out. Start over again. Do it back up and revisit your characters, okay? And why do I tell people to do a poster, or you can do a little flyer? Because when you lose your way in the story, go back to your flyer, which we'll talk about your flyer in a moment, poster, and see if it's matching up to the direction of your script, okay? Yeah.
Could you use your poster just like a mission statement?
Beautiful. Yes, you can. This man knows what he's talking about. Your poster, your flyer is your mission statement. On every flyer, there's a tagline, okay? Now, my tagline isn't the strongest in the world out there when you see the poster. It's got me holding a gun, and it says on there, the last thing in the world is he did not want to be like one of them. Well, the question is, who is one of them? Is it the government or is it the true believers? So it's got you asking, who is them? It's not the greatest tagline, but I didn't care because I didn't have a distributor and I was my own distributor. But usually I'll have taglines like, I did a movie years ago called Kill Crazy, which became kind of a cult classic, and the tagline on that was, when you bury a man, you better make sure he's dead. Because they thought I was dead, they went to kill me. I came back from the dead. It wasn't horror, they didn't kill me, and I started taking the guys out one by one. So when you bury a man, make sure he's dead. See, so you look at your tagline, mission statement, and keep your script, go in that same direction. Now, let's talk about your poster, your flyer. I need an example here of, tell me again the name of your movie. Reunions in Heaven. What's the name of yours? Time Alone in what? Can you two come up here? Okay. Okay, so let's take fear alone. Okay, what is it again?
Time alone in fear and sadness.
Time alone in fear and sadness. What do you all envision this poster to be like?
We're both telling you about our films that we have in this, so there's already a film. Are you talking about a future film?
Doesn't matter. We can talk about the one. Do you have a flyer that goes with it? Do you have a poster?
I have a poster. I did not make the poster. My team made the poster.
Okay, well, let's talk. Can we talk about it?
Sure.
All right. Because maybe you'll remake it. All right, she has a movie. It's already out. Say the title again.
Time alone in fear and sadness.
Okay, for those of y'all that have seen the movie or seen the poster, take it out of your mind. What does it sound like if you heard that title? Isolation. Anybody else? Depressing. Okay, so Jason, what do you say? Wake up? Yeah, okay. Darkness, isolation, depressing. What color should the poster be? Blue, dark colored. Who's your main character?
Eloise.
Eloise? Are you Eloise in there? Well, I didn't know that. Okay. Is Eloise suicidal?
No.
What is she?
She is alone.
Some people, that'd be suicidal. Okay, she's alone. So Eloise is alone. We have a dark background. Where's she at?
She's in a field in front of her house.
Okay. Is this a house that she went back to revisit years ago, or a house that she's been living?
It's a house that she's been sort of trapped in for years.
Trapped in for years. How old is the house?
It's very old, probably 100 years old.
All right, here we go. Poster, dark, 100-year-old house. You know where I'm going with this, right? Eloise is what? She's standing out in front of the house, looking, and behind her is the house, right? Something like that. Do you follow?
She's out far in front of the house looking back at the house.
Okay.
And it is blue.
And it is blue. Is that the actual poster? Yes. Okay, good. So we're close. There's one problem with it, and I'll tell you what it is. Yeah.
Shouldn't she be in the house? Good. So maybe like hands on the window.
Good point. Good point. Listen, we're just up here playing, and we want things to be better. Maybe they'll be worse. I don't know. That would be worse. No, but if I'm Eloise, and this is the house, and you're the camera, and I'm back looking at the house, what do you see? I'm leaving that house. No, yeah, but you see the back of Eloise's head, right? You do not see what's going on with her eyes, emotion happening. You just see a house. So you've only focused on one thing. Whereas if you were, I'm making this up, inside the house, the window, and you've got your hands pressed against, or you are looking at the house, but your reflection is coming off the window. Do you follow what I'm saying? Now I have you, I've got you looking at the house, and I've got the house, right? Okay, give her a big hand. Thank you so much. All right. What's the name?
Reunions in Heaven.
Reunions in Heaven. Okay. What is that? Let's have colors with that. What would that be? Bright, shiny, clouds. Okay. Golden. Yeah, golden. Sun, maybe. Yeah, sunshine. Okay. And so, give me your 10-second pitch.
Reunions in Heaven is a drama that follows people who have passed and they reunite with their loved ones in heaven.
Great. No, it's very good. Very good. Okay, all right. Who is it that died and went to heaven and had a reunion?
I'm sorry?
Who was it? Who's the character that happened to?
We have Nana and Melissa's character, Renee, that went to heaven and they reunite. And then a surprise character that I don't really want to give away.
Okay. You haven't made this yet, right?
It's 1 p.m. on Sunday.
Oh, okay, so you're going to, okay. Gotcha, okay. Come up here, Melissa. Okay, so Melissa's starring. Are you starring in this? Okay, great. All right. It's an ensemble. Are you in it also?
I directed, produced, and wrote it.
Perfect. Okay, so Melissa is doing what now?
She plays the role of Renee, which is essentially Mama.
Okay, Mama. Does Mama go to heaven? Mama goes to heaven. Okay. Well, I can't give your story away, so we're a little bit limited. But Mama's in heaven. Is Mama waiting on somebody?
She walks up to her Nana that passed away when she was about 8.
Okay. So we have heaven, okay? We've got, what's your character's name? Renee. We got Renee. She's in heaven. She's standing there, and she's looking for somebody, right? She has a question on her face, like, where are they? Now, possibly in front of her could be the back of people's heads just looking at her. We're talking about the poster right here, right? Okay. Do you have a poster?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What is it?
I have a nice, beautiful blue sky overlooking the sunrise, so gold, of like farmland. I have the lead character's side profile looking up, and I've got her and her Nana hugging in the corner, and then I have another supporting actress crying and praying by a bed. But it's just like their faces kind of opaque.
Okay. Good. That's good. That's good. First of all, I want to... Okay, would you? I want to commend you for writing, directing, producing, and doing. That's a big deal. Can I share a couple things with you that I'm hoping will help? Okay. We want to be careful not to tell our story in the what?
That's my poster.
Oh, good. Okay, let's look at it. Let's look at it. Here. Reunions in heaven. I don't, and let's be honest, let's help her out because she's not here just to, does that really, to me, it doesn't really tell, what I think of her project, which I think is going to be really good, I don't feel like this matches up to the greatness of her project, of her story. That's my opinion. Does it, what do you all think? Give me some, come on, talk to me here. What's that? It doesn't look like that, thank you. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. Are you open to some good? Okay.
You guys should have seen the original one that I did.
No, listen, hold it. This is not for you. This is for them, for what they're going to do in the future using your project as whatever. I'm not sure what this is, reunions in heaven. I mean, I know it says reunion in heaven, but I'm not, is that heaven up there? Is that what that is?
No, that's just a beautiful, not a stock image in the background.
Okay, remember.
My DP shot that on his drone.
Okay, remember, distributors buy posters. They want to know if you walk, not in video stores, they're gone now, Blockbuster. But if you are on Netflix and you pull this up, they want to know that you're going to click on it, and you're not a poster maker, so don't worry about that. You're a filmmaker, and I think what you're made, I got this feeling it's really good.
You should see it.
Well, I might. But yeah. Here's now again. I want intrigue. I want to look at something and go, okay. What does that mean? It gets me far enough along to where, you have your hand up? Yes, sir. Yes. The short answer is yes. If you have a poster that will give you a feeling of something and state the genre of which it is, but doesn't tell you, what's this? What you got? Oh, is this it right here? Oh, you got yours? Time Alone? Yeah, I like this, yeah, I like it. I mean, I like both of them. We're just trying to make them a little more, giving ideas of, I like that. Okay, but what genre does that? I get a horror genre out of this for some reason. Is it? It's not horror. Okay, but is it? Okay, it's good. It's good. And let's put her poster back up again, too. It's not bad. It's good. But what I'm saying is, if I had you standing and you were by yourself and you were in heaven or wherever, I'm not sure where you were, and you were looking for something, looking at something, and we didn't know what you were looking at, but boy, we sure would like to know what you were looking at. Keep it simple, right? It's just an idea. All right, give them a big round of applause. Thank you for letting us, thank you for being a guinea pig. Okay, so the poster. Does everybody understand poster, flyer, concept? Make a great one. People will remember it. Okay? Yeah. Yes, 9 times out of 10, because people want to relate to people. They want to relate to people. If you look at my poster out there, you'll see I'm on the poster. I'm starring in it, obviously. But in that poster, you'll see everything that's kind of what I touch on. Now, it's a series, so it's a little bit different than a movie, so I've got to cover 4 or 5 different topics. I'm carrying my gun. There's a Bible in the background. There's a church on fire, you know, that kind of a thing. So most of the time, people can relate to people. So if we saw, because you're starring in the movie, right? Yeah, if I saw your face, because you have a great face, and you have really, really, really good eyes, and I saw you looking at this house, and I saw your reflection in the window of what you're thinking, and I'm going to myself, what's her attachment to this house? Why is she doing this? The way it is now, it's not bad, but it's a house with some writing. And I see a house way in the background. I don't know what the genre is, and I don't know, I think it's horror, and I don't want to think it's horror. I know, but that's what I get from it, and a lot of other people said that. Okay, so the flyer is really important. So, Sean, let me know if we're about 10 minutes away from being finished, because I want everybody to ask questions and make it all about them and not about me. Okay, writing the winning script. I think I'm going to talk about this tomorrow in writing the script. I'll cover that in financing tomorrow. So if anybody has any questions about anything, marketing or, I mean, not marketing, but genre, yeah. Oh, well, let's do this. Why don't, is this on? Testing, 1, 2. Well, come on up so they can hear you.
I was just wondering, is there a market for distributing short films, and what do you suggest we do with our short films if we're not, once we've finished them? You know, some people make short films just to prove their skills. Some people have short films as proof of concept. If you have a short film that you feel like can stand alone, is there a market for it, and what do you think we should do with them?
Okay, what's your name?
Dawn Rivas.
Dawn.
Yes.
Okay, give Dawn a big hand. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna cover this tomorrow, but I'll touch on it now. There are distributors for everything, as long as it's a good story. If you have a story, there's a distributor for it. Okay. You've got to get that to the distributor. That's why I talk about the flyer. That's why I talk about I call it the one-liner. It's the tagline on the flyer to get their attention. The one, and I'll talk about this tomorrow, the one-liner, which is, the synopsis, which they read and they go, wow, huh? A log line, yeah, for the one-liner. The synopsis is a little bit longer, and then I go into a step outline, and then I'll go into writing the script, and I'll talk about that tomorrow. But there is a distributor for everything. Now, Netflix, Hulu, YouTube is now getting into, as everybody know, YouTube's now getting into the game of, you know, they're brand new at it. I think they're going to blow everybody out of the water because they're going to mix social media platform with a distribution platform. And I think they're going to, unfortunately, they're going to be the king. The reason I say that is they just kicked me off the week before last because I talked about the vaccine. We're not on YouTube, are we? Okay. Okay, well, no, that's fine. They censor like crazy. They're tied into the system. It's not a good situation, so I'm not happy that they're probably going to be the king. But you could send it to YouTube. You can send it, and I'll have a list tomorrow of people you can send it to. So you can do that beyond the shadow of a doubt. Now, I will say this. I started my own platform called David Heavener TV. And the reason I called it David Heavener TV, that's pretty egotistical. I tried other names, and we were trying to get the Google hits. I've got about 100,000 followers on YouTube. I've got a pretty big social media following. I do 2 live shows a week. So I'm kind of known in a certain space. And we tried different names, and putting my name in got us the most clicks, so I just called it, what the heck, David Heavener TV. What it is, we have 900 shows. And what is this 900 shows? It's all my interviews I've done for the past 6-7 years on topics like the New World Order, One World Religion, the Nephilim, the alien-demon connection, things like the Illuminati, and it's not even tinfoil hat stuff. There's a lot of faith-based, I talk churchy type stuff. I talk about your purpose in life. I talk about all kinds of stuff. 900 shows. I have 20 channels. DavidHeavener.tv. Check it out. If you've got a show and you want to send it to me, and I'll look at it from my platform. I'm opening up a brand new channel, and it's going to be indie filmmaking channel just for the filmmakers. And so send it to me, and if I like it, if it works, then I can talk to you about putting it up. Now, it is a paid platform, meaning people pay to watch it. It's cheap, like $7. But the people that pay are so dedicated, and they will watch your stuff, and they'll know every word of dialogue in your script, in your movie. Plus, I'm on Roku, Amazon, Apple TV, all the other platforms. So you do have major distributions. You do show up in all of the movie guides and all that kind of stuff, and they give star ratings, yeah. Well, when you say faith-based, I don't think there's... no, it's not family-friendly. I talk a lot about SRA, but... No. You can't have nudity. You can't have bad language in there. You can't be praising other gods. But you can be real. Now, when I say praising other gods, you could be playing the Antichrist as a bad girl. That's fine, because you got to have a bad for the good to work. I don't mean that. I mean a movie about the Antichrist and how you should worship the Antichrist. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No, not at all. It runs the gamut. Matter of fact, the further out of the box, the better off it is on my platform. Check it out, DavidHeavener.tv. And I'll talk about this tomorrow, too, but I just want to give you some food for thought. You can go to lastevangelist.com, because I could have gone to studios. I could have gone to, I've gotten most of my movies off of Netflix because they don't pay the way I think they should, so I'm down to like one movie. I've gotten most of them off of Prime because they just don't pay. They take filmmakers and they just don't pay them. I'm sorry, they just don't pay them. So I don't believe in those platforms as a young filmmaker unless you just want the promotion, and I'll talk about this tomorrow. But I could have gone to studios, I could have gone to, the flicks and all that stuff, and they would have given me money to make Last Evangelist. God said, go to my people, they will fund it. So I started a crowdfunding platform, lastevangelist.com. Write it down and go to it and see how I'm doing it, because you can do it too, and I want to talk to you about it tomorrow. It's not that difficult. Okay, I don't raise millions of dollars, but the dollars that are given are by people that want to watch the series, and they believe in God, and they believe in what we're doing. You're better off having 10 people giving you $10 each to be in your tribe and you make it for $100 than you are having 5,000. Some distributor doesn't give a flip about what you're doing, and all they're going to do is take your movie and run with it. Yeah. Okay, SRA is satanic ritual abuse. I cover this, been doing it for years. I've been boots on the ground with law enforcement as they raid different places, and you'll see children in cages, you'll see signs of satanic ritual abuse is a corporate structure where they abuse someone, usually a child. They do it with children because they can split their personality at a very young age. It's a lot easier to do that. It's usually inflicted through some type of pain sexually, and that's how they do it, through young children. They split them into multiple personalities, and I cover a thing called program multiples. I have a lot of people that have come to me. I've interviewed them. I've talked to them. They do exist, where you have different personalities, and you don't necessarily remember the other personality. That's, I can tell you're looking at me like, we got to talk. What's that? What is? Adrenochrome, yeah. The second one was what now? Angel? Okay. Okay, real quick here. Angel Studios is owned by Mormons. It's Mormon money. I don't have a problem if somebody wants to deal with Angel Studios. You just must, some people do. So you must understand the source of the income, the mindset of what this is all about. So I don't have a problem with that, but some people will, but you just have to voice that's what it is. Number two, what I don't agree with is they want to charge filmmakers $250 to view their movie or something. Huh? Yeah. Look, I'm just not into that, because what they're saying is we want to, look, anyone that wants to charge you to look at your project, you need to run the other way. It never works. Never, ever, ever works, okay? It's not that I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. It just never works because it's a different agenda. It's an agenda of I want to make money. It's not like a film festival that charges a measly $50 to enter your movie because, God bless Sean, I'm sure the expenses are a lot more than what he ever brings in. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a company like Angel worth millions and millions of dollars, and they want to charge someone $250 working at Walmart to submit their movie, which will probably never see the light of day. And then they want to sculpt it under some type of religious Christian. I got a problem with that. I got a problem with people looking at Angel Studios saying this is a Christian organization. It's not a Christian organization. It's Mormon. It is not a Christian organization. I'm not putting Mormonism down. I'm just telling you, it's not a Christian, as you know, Christian organization. So you have to know what it is that you're dealing with, okay? That's it. Okay, probably down just a few more. What's that? Oh, yeah, okay, so he's going to play something. Are you playing the trailer? Oh, the episode. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's going to play the episode. That's great. Okay. Oh, thank you.
People, for your daily deliberation. A government can't control the economy without controlling people.
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. The only way they can inherit the freedom we have known is if we fight for it, protect it, defend it. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. Away from extinction. Away from extinction.
Dispatch investigation to Mobile Patrol, Sergeant Rhodes. Over.
Go for Sergeant Rhodes. Over.
The hostage situation has escalated. Suspect has become extremely agitated. What's your 20? Over.
I'm at Logan and 16th Avenue, entering the west side of the building. Over.
10-4 on that.
Negative, okay, nothing further, just kitty candy in the corner.
Listen up back there. I want everybody to come out. Slowly. One at a time, single file. Put your hands behind your head and interlock your fingers. Keep your distance at least 2 feet apart.
Be careful, it's hard to see.
Are you okay, Bob?
Jordan, it's okay, just do whatever they say. I'm fine. Watch your step.
What's the situation, Bookman?
We went in for the bus, they ran down the hallway. It seemed to be a typical extraction. It's turned out a little unusual, I'd say.
So what's with the SWAT?
New protocol. Ever since that last underground raid went bad and we lost Officer Turner. John, these radicals are becoming more and more aggressive.
When's the government gonna get it? You push these people too far, they're gonna fight back.
We've apprehended a total of 13 who are cooperating. Some are even willing to conform.
So what's the stats on the subjects inside?
Family of 3. Robert Shaw along with his 2 kids, 15 and 10. When we went in for the apprehension, he booked it down the hallway. He's got a weapon, John.
Registered to who?
Not to him. He's a nonconformist.
Did you run leads?
No arrests, but he does have a history of mental illness.
Social score?
Yeah, he flunked out on that one. His religious and political ideology is the worst.
What about the ones you just apprehended? Was there a weapon?
Just Bibles.
Jack!
Great. Hey, Captain.
Relax, John. We're going in.
What do you mean, we are going in?
Listen, Shaw has a history of mental illness, and I can't afford to lose another officer like I did last week.
Captain, you send SWAT in there? Those kids could be injured, maybe even killed. That's a chance you can't take. Now, I can talk him out. Give me a shot.
All right. But the first sign of trouble, send it, SWAT.
You have any idea where Shaw might be back there?
I haven't a clue. John, be careful. Shaw's a triple threat.
A triple threat?
He's armed, he's unstable. He's a radical Christian.
Mr. Shaw? Mr. Shaw?
Go away.
I'm afraid I can't do that, Mr. Shaw. You see, I've come to help you and your family.
Just go away.
I've come to resolve this peacefully, and I need to come in and talk to you.
We ain't got nothing to talk about. I ain't gonna let you take my family too.
I'm not gonna take your family. Everything's gonna be okay. I'm not armed, and I'm just gonna come in peacefully, slowly, calmly, and all I want to do is talk.
Just let him in.
Is that okay?
Bookman, I've located the suspects. They're barricaded in a back room to the far left. He's armed, and I'm going in.
10-4.
Mr. Shaw, my name's John, and I'm here to help you and your children.
Unless you come to tell us that the government is allowing us freedom of worship.
You are free to worship. You just have to register like everybody else, that's all.
Your registration comes with laws. Where your law is, there is no freedom.
Is that your Bible over there?
Whoa.
I just wanted to take a look at your Bible. Oh, that's a nice Bible. You know, my grandma had a Bible just like this when I was a young boy, about the age of your daughter there. You know, Robert. May I call you Robert? We all read from the same Bible. We all worship the same God. Robert, we're all one. Now, I want to help you and your family.
Just give him the gun.
You should listen to your daughter. Give me the gun.
Dad, just give him the gun. Just listen to him.
Give me the gun. Okay, good. Let's go on out. Suspects are coming out, and they are unarmed.
10-4. All right, suspects unarmed and coming out.
You lie.
You said you weren't doing it. I didn't lie. Dad, stand down. Stand down. Stand down. Hold your fire. Hold your fire.
Hold on right there with that gun wrapped around your throat.
Just doing my job, sir.
No, your job. I'm gonna have you. Let go. Your job. Let go of me.
Look, John.
Listen.
I heard about what happened. You want to talk about it?
What's there to talk about? More people are dead.
You were just doing your job. And you're doing a good job.
Am I, Bishop? Am I?
You don't make the laws. You just enforce them. And the government does everything that it can to partner with and help the church. And all they ask is that the believers conform. Then they have to register. Look, that's good, because it's good for all Christians, because you know it keeps out apostasy. You know, the false teachers. Look, John, as much compassion as you had for that family, you gotta remember, what they were doing was against the law. The father was even ready to kill innocent people. Innocent people.
His gun wasn't loaded.
John, remember, you were upholding the law, and what they were doing was illegal.
Well, maybe they were just trying to legalize Jesus. Thanks, Bishop.
What they were doing was against the law. What they were doing was against the law.
Keep your distance at least 2 feet apart.
You don't make the laws.
He's apprehended a total of 13.
You just enforce them.
Were there any weapons?
Just Bibles.
What do you want?
You, John.
Who are you?
You're persecuting me. Why?
What? Who are you? Who are you? What do you want? can't see.
Attention, please. You must be fully vaccinated to enter these premises. Have your vaxport open and ready for scan.
You're hurting her. Stop it.
Okay, so you two are at it again. Let's see. Rioting, burning, looting.
Destroyed 2 police cars this time. We were exercising our rights.
It was a peaceful protest.
Yeah? What's so peaceful about assaulting an old lady? You broke her arm. Okay. Here's your citation. Court date's on the back. They'll set $100. Get out of here. What do we got here?
2339A.
Here you go, Lieutenant. 2339A.
Ah, providing support material to terrorists.
We were just handing out Bibles.
Without a permit.
It's an illegal translation, too.
Listen, it was just the King James Version.
It's just the Bible.
It's the Word of God.
It's the word of your God, which makes it terrorist propaganda. It's also a felony. Let me see their vaxports.
They don't have any.
No vaccination, huh? That's 2 felonies. Evans, you know the drill. Take them straight to holdover for the DOJ. All bail is denied.
Good morning, Sergeant Rhodes. How are you feeling?
What time is it? What day is it?
It's noon, John. You've been out for 2 days.
What?
You've been in a coma. The hospital called me.
Look, man, what's going on?
They don't know.
Good morning, Sergeant.
No, you've always been a terrible liar.
They think you had a reaction to your second vaccine, John.
Here, let's get this IV out.
What is that?
This is the TI-714.
Gives the insertion.
The insertion.
Come on, John. You've been out 2 days, but you don't have amnesia. We finally approved it. Everyone's taken it.
Just relax your arm. You won't feel a thing.
Marge, I need you in room 202. We have a code blue.
I'll be right back to finish this up.
Code blue, room 202.
Brooklyn, something happened the other night. I need to tell you about it.
It's all coming together, John. Working out perfectly. And you can stop calling me Brookman.
Angie, something happened the other night. I couldn't see. Did you take the insertion?
Well, of course. Why wouldn't I? I mean, I'm guaranteed compensation for life, perfect health, and I can be with you. That is, after you take it, of course.
And everyone's taken it?
Well, not everybody. I mean, the conspiracy theorists refuse. The result's been horrific, John. No one will hire them. They can't buy food, clothing, medicine, nothing.
Angie, you went to the university to study religion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was my minor. Why?
You ever heard the word Sayin?
Sounds like Arabic.
Arabic?
Yeah, it's Arabic.
What does it mean?
Messenger.
Messenger.
You're like I don't know, an evangelist type?
Officer Bookman, Captain wants you downtown to help with the riots, 6th and Jefferson, ASAP.
Again. All right, be there in 20. Looks like we've got some protesters down at the Capitol. I gotta go, baby. I'll see you tonight, okay? Love you.
Jensen here. Lieutenant, we have a 5285.
Here's his vaxport.
So you are the infamous Paul Revere, voice of the true believers. More like the voice of hate speech. is your third strike. 3 strikes and you're out. You're gonna be going away for a very long time. Is this Vaxport real? Contact Interpol to run a validation on this. Tell you what, Mr. Revere. I'll cut you a deal. If you tell me who's been helping you and where you've broadcasted from, I'll drop the charges. Just give me the information I want, and of course, sign the affidavit swearing you'll no longer spread religious propaganda, and I'll give you your freedom. You'll walk out of here a free man.
I'm already free. My freedom's in Christ.
Book him.
So I didn't copy other details.
Lieutenant Shulman, your report on the Shaw shooting, you clear Officer Evans, a heavily armed member of SWAT, shoots and kills an unarmed civilian. And that's self-defense? Really?
I conducted a full investigation, Captain. Witnesses say that Evans acted in self-defense.
Those witnesses, those are our guys.
Yes, and our guys are trained to uphold the law and to tell the truth.
Truth. I don't even know what that means anymore. Lieutenant, it's your division. Keep your nose clean.
For the third straight day, we have followed as rioters run rampant at the U.S. Capitol. And this just in. Part of a heavily armed militia organization calling themselves the True Believers were arrested this week. The anti-terrorism unit labels them extremely dangerous. And a reminder tonight that the new administration has announced it will extend its amnesty program to those in possession of unauthorized Bibles.
Dr. Amy Adams here, your specialized physician, here to tell you about the T1714, better known as your insertion. You see, I have one right here in my right arm, and you should have one too. I'm aware that it has a few minor issues. Some people have developed an unusual reaction, such as aggression and disoriented behavior. But I can assure you, we are working diligently to address them. Sir, if you do have an infection, please see your nearest medical facility. Today...
Afternoon, Mr. Sergeant Rhodes. I'm Dr. Reed.
Doctor?
How are you feeling?
Pretty good. Mind if I hit the head?
Oh, take your time.
I'll be right back. Oh, hey, Doc! Oh, come
What's
on.
up? What's up?
Something's wrong. My chest hurts.
Oh, let's have a look at it.
Hey, Doc. Hey, Isaac, how's it going? How you doing? Wonderful.
Detective Richards. Hold on. Hey, Captain, you got a call on line 2. It's about John Rhodes, and it's urgent.
Yeah.
He did what?
Bookman.
Your captain.
John Rhodes just assaulted a doctor, left the hospital. I'm sending 2 units to his apartment.
Captain, please don't do that. Let me go first. If John sees a bunch of cars pulling up, he's gonna freak out. There's no telling what he's gonna do.
All right, but you've got 15 minutes. I'm sending in 2 units.
Something happened the other night. I woke up and I couldn't see.
I think you had a reaction to your second vaccine, John.
Did you take the insertion?
Of course.
And everyone's taken.
Not everybody. The conspiracy theorists refuse.
Oh, wow. Wasn't that amazing, you guys? Isn't that great? Let's give them all a round of applause, eh? Wonderful. Well, we want to come on. Why don't you come on up here? We want to talk to you again. We have questions. Everybody's got questions here. The last evangelist. It looks like you probably are then, huh? Yeah. Okay. So, anybody have any questions that you want to ask him about how? I like the music. That was something that I was intrigued by. That because when I was sitting there and I'm listening to the music, I'm doing this. I'm like, how does he choose the music? That was my question. How do you choose the music for your show, your series?
Well, remember, I come from a music background.
I did not know that. Well, thank you for telling me.
From Nashville. I was a songwriter.
Oh, that's right. You did say that.
As a matter of fact, in episode 2, which is, I think, really great, Jason, you want to stand up? Jason did the music on that.
Oh, thank you, Jason. It was wonderful. Congratulations.
On episode 2, and the music is even better.
Is it?
Yeah, than 1. I listen to a lot of different people, and I have friends that do things, so I listen to their, ask them to do what they call a cue, and if it fits, then I do it. The song at the end, you didn't get to hear all of it, but I wrote that. It's called Over My Dead Body. So yeah, that's the music.
Oh, wonderful. Anybody else here? Oh, you got some questions. It's over here. Why don't you just say your name, and I'm going to bring you the microphone so you can talk into it, and then we can all hear it and record it. Say your name.
Melissa. So how has the Christian community how have they taken your film, being that it has so much like shooting and blood? I love it, but how did they take it?
I figure you would like it, Melissa.
I like action.
Right. It's funny you would say that. For the most part, it's received better than I thought. I didn't think it would be received as well as it has been. However, we won the New York International Film Festival, and who was there at that festival? Anybody? It was a whole lot of people in the room, a lot of people, and most of them weren't Christians. Because I said, raise your hand if you're a Christian. There were like 3 people there that said they were Christians. And so everybody gave their opinion. They said, man, we really love it. We think it's great, a lot of message. And one of the 3 Christians raised their hand and said, I just find this very difficult to watch.
Why was that?
I said, well, if you find it difficult to watch, you're going to find it twice as bad to be in.
Amen, amen.
That's why I made it, so people can get a glimpse of what could be possible. Yeah.
Oops, I'm sorry. Let me get over here and you state your name. And would you please, your questions?
I'm David Brooks, and I wanted to ask you, is it better to stick to the real part of the story or try to keep it at it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you know how you have to be Christian when you do a faith-based film, you have to be a certain way. Is it better to be real to the story or try to?
You mean when he showed the blood and all that? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because like you know how, you have to do it a certain way for the faith-based to like it.
Yeah.
And is it okay to go past a little bit of the border and just don't care about the faith-based if you go past it?
Yeah. I have David, I have a motto that's an old country song, says, here's a quarter, call someone who cares, because I don't. If someone's got a problem with something, me telling the truth, I don't care. True. Now, I will put a disclaimer on, if someone has little kids and they got a problem with a guy getting shot, then you need to watch your little kids. I know I got 6 kids. They're grown now, but... So it's better to tell the truth. I think your story has a truth to it. Everyone has a truth to their story. And if you try to deviate from that truth, then you're really not telling your story. You're telling a story you think they want to hear. Never do that. Never do. I don't mean don't sculpt it into something that people would want to. I don't mean that. That's because we had a whole class on that. That's not what I mean. Tell your story.
He's got one more question.
So I'm not a cusser, but I'm just trying to say, so when a story has to do with people, like if you do a street scene and you know how it is on the street, do you try to talk around that, or you would just bring it like it's supposed to be?
No, I know what you're saying. Correct me if I'm wrong. David's saying that you got a bunch of guys on the street, they use some bad language, they're smoking some dope, there's stuff going on. you cannot get around the truth of that scene. The truth of that scene is you got 10 guys smoking dope, talking dirty. You can't get around the spirit of which that scene comes from. Now, what you can do is get rid of the bad dialogue, the dirty language. If you do show smoking dope, don't put it in anybody's face. You can insinuate it in the background, whatever, because you're trying to tell your story without all of these things getting in the way. There's certain series that I like, I think is excellent. If you guys ever seen Blacklist, the series Blacklist, yeah. I like Blacklist. And I will tell you that I am an advocate of that TV series when I tell people to watch it. If you want to see a series that can tell a story, but yet it doesn't go all the way and get down and dirty and have the sex scenes and have the, I recommend that series, just as an example. So here's the problem with, quote, Christian movies, is they'll take these 10 guys on the street and it won't be real. Yeah, you got 10 dudes on the street and they're supposed to be doing this, but the director's not going to let them do it because they're afraid they're going to insult somebody. Do you follow what I'm saying? Tell your story. Jesus told his story. He did not care what other people thought. He told the truth. I am the truth. I am the way. The truth will set you free. Anything less than the truth is just a waste of time.
Amen. Anybody else? We got some more? Okay, I'll read the next to you.
Yeah, I'm Rich Santoro. I was just looking at your street scenes, and I may be wrong, but I'm kind of curious as to where it was shot. I was looking at it, and I thought, this doesn't look like a movie that's filmed in California. The buildings and everything looked pretty raw and industrial, and I was just kind of curious about where you were shooting these.
Yeah, shot in Indiana, Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm glad you brought that up. Every scene was a different part of the city, because I tried to design it in a place where you'd go, I don't know where that is, but it doesn't look like it's someplace that's real inviting, But I didn't want to make it look dystopian, because, see, that's the trap you can fall into on a movie like this, where it looks like Escape from New York, you know what I'm saying? And it's a very bad place to go, because you can't compete with Escape from New York. I don't have the budget, I didn't have any money to make this, so I had to utilize what I did have. Now, the police station, we had an old church, 17,000 square feet, built in 1884. The police station was part of the administration part of the church. And then that cathedral, that was a real church. The older guy that was there that played the priest, that's Johnny Whitaker. Does anybody remember Tom Sawyer? Something in the Dragon, Family Affair. I mean, you got to be really old. But he was a major child star back in, many, many years ago.
Okay, and I got you over here, sir. I know that you had a question. What's your name?
Oh, no, I didn't. You didn't? No, sorry, I was just stretching. I was just stretching my arm.
When you go to like a, bidding on word, you just don't go like this and it's not you, right? Okay? Okay. Yeah, hi. Go ahead. Say your name again.
Melissa. So, being someone that likes to do faith and secular both, but this is a Christian film festival that we're at. So, do you not agree that whenever we're telling a Christian story, that we need to go and reach the people that are not saved? Because if we are only targeting one audience, they're already saved. Our job is to go out and save others. Well, plant the seed, God saves them. But is it not what we're supposed to do with these movies? Not target the standard base, but to go out and reach other people. Therefore, you can tell the raw stories and get them interested. So if they're smoking dope or if they're breaking in now, they're not going to go, oh, dang, I broke this. No, that's just not how it's going to be. It's going to be real life. And if you're trying to reach real people, that's what you need to do. Sorry, I'm getting fired up.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. No, you make a good movie. You make the best movie you can. And don't worry about what Christians are going to say. See, Huh?
I'd like to keep you recorded. Why don't you just keep the phone in your hand?
So, I mean, there's going to be cursing, there's going to be violence and stuff like that because that is real life, but that's the audience that you need to target. So if you're going into Chicago and there's gangs and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you have to have that in there to target the other people.
Well, okay, let's touch on that. There is never, this is me, because you're asking me, and there's never, ever a reason for a person that believes in God, of faith, that cares about other people. Never a reason to drop the F-bomb, to say the S word. If you say hell, use it sparingly. Don't just throw it around all over the place. If you do have to say damn, you better make sure it's the right time in the right way, coming from the right person. These scripts that have the F-bomb, they don't need all that stuff. They think it's cool, and it's not cool. So I don't think you need to cater to that. What I think you need to show that audience that normally would do that is, hey, man, these people are mad just like me, but they don't have to go around using the F-bomb all the time. But they're not like walking around like Christians, you see what I'm saying? So Melissa, to your point, you say telling a Christian story, and I know what you mean. But what's a Christian story? There's no such thing as a Christian story. It's just a story. And it happens to be about faith, and it happens to be about real life and people stumbling, and people having problems, and people overcoming. This is real life. So I agree with everything you say, except, not that you did say it, but I will put a caveat. I do not like any kind of films that use the F word over and over. I just want to slap these people. I mean, I teach acting classes in LA. Not anymore, but I'll go in and do a master class. And the moment I catch actors up there using the F-bomb and throwing hell around down, I will cut the scene and I will go, what are you doing? First of all, it's not in the scene. You're throwing it in, number one, right? However, I have actors that'll come to me, and I've done it. I go to a director and I go, this guy is saying, why the F, dude? Why is he saying this? Can you tell me? What is it you're trying to get across, director? What's the writer trying to get across? Well, the guy he's so passionate, he does not want to change the tire on that car because he is when he goes, I said, I got that, but if I can give you that same line without that F word, can I try that? Can I just do one take? Will you give me one take with it? Yeah, go ahead. So I'll do the one with the F-bomb, and I'll make it the worst reading you ever heard in your life. It just sucks, But then I'll do one that, and I'm praying about it, God, give me the ability to overcome this. And I'll say it, and 9 times out of 10, they'll use that. They will use it, okay? They'll use it. I want to touch on another thing Melissa didn't. Sex in a movie that's supposed to be Christian, or you're trying to get to Christians. God made sex. God made men. God made women. We got to get over this thing about taboo, voodoo. You see what I'm saying? However, it can't be perverted. It can't be misused. You have to respect it like God would respect it. But if you've got, like David was talking about, amongst these 10 dope smokers, hood, and you've got 3 prostitutes hanging out in the midst of them, what are you going to do? You're going to dress them in nun outfits? No, you're going to dress them in short, kind of like, Lori's dressing here. It's good.
Thanks, David.
As a prostitute? He says what? Is there a classy way to dress them as a prostitute?
That's my job now, David. Get over there.
Yeah. He wants to go.
Like, you still can get off that they're a prostitute without going all the way that a prostitute would actually.
You can tell the story without getting into the dirt and into the mud. Okay?
I mean, how many people here watch a movie or a show and they hear GD or JC in the movie and they're like, why do they say that? Why do they do that? Does anybody, don't need those words in the movie to make it, important. I don't understand why they use that. I just don't. But go ahead. What's your name? Don't forget.
Sam. And I really just want to agree. I've read scripts before and I've turned them down because I act as well. If there's too many F-bombs, I'm like, okay, this guy's a lazy writer. I'm moving on. Or there was a curse word in the description of the scene. Like, we're in a flippin' church. Why are you putting that in the description? It doesn't need to be there. It doesn't make sense. To me, that is lazy writing. There is so many different ways to say your point. So, I mean, not that I've written secular films that has had some colorful language in it, but I am very, very choosy about where it goes. Because I completely agree. Too many F-bombs is lazy writing.
Yeah, no, that's true. I totally agree. Just to clean up what David brought up here, if you're going to have prostitutes and they're going to have short dresses on and cleavage and all that, have them in the background to insinuate, to give the flavor of the scene. You're still telling the story. If you're going to put a girl in the front, let her have a little bit longer dress. See, it's not what they wear, it's how they act. I can take a good actress and put her in a nun's outfit, and you'll know she's a prostitute because she's a great actress. Do you follow what I'm saying? It's not just that. Look, you can tell a person without talent because they will put more F-bombs in there. They will tell you the story instead of you reading it and imagining it. They'll just throw it in your face. That's because people don't understand writing and filmmaking. Yeah.
I just wanted to, sorry. Hi, I'm Maggie. Just wanted to add some insight, something that I've experienced. I have a couple of people that I'm good friends with that are part of my little acting group, and one of them is a pastor, and he will often say he wants to teach, and he wants to teach people how to not use cursing, but to rather use vulgarity, because vulgarity is not cursing. And I'm not really sure what exactly that means, but he takes the same kind of scene where you get the same feeling that you're getting, but it's not cursing.
Well, what's vulgarity if it's not cursing? Like, can you give me what's
If
a
anyone
line
knows.
that's vulgar? Huh?
Itching again? Oh, okay, so this time you're not itching. All right, here I go.
Or as far as I understand, vulgar means common. Hence, you have vulgar translations would be translating the Bible from Latin that nobody spoke to English that they do. So vulgar would be saying, I'm Googling something. That's a vulgar, it's slang would be another word. Technically, I'm doing an internet query search using the Google search engine. Different things like that, or I'm tweeting. I think that it may be more technical now, but it started vulgarly. Now, I don't know if that's what he meant, but in a formal sense, I think that's the difference between vulgarity. At least that's what vulgar is. I don't know if that's where he was going with it. So slang, I think slang would be a vulgar term for vulgarity. To think etymologically, I think it's related to folk. The word for folk, F, becomes a va. It's very similar. So vulgar, fulgur, folker, so it's the language of the folks. I'm thinking it might be connected to that.
Thank you.
She has a question.
Oh, hello. How are you, hon? Who are you?
Sure, my name is Sven. I think what he's probably trying to get across is more an implication of the of what the word entails. I think he's trying to probably do more of a, show, don't tell, more or less show to you through an implication of a situation or through people's specific behavior or nonverbal behavior. Usually, in most cases, when it's referred to as vulgar in that kind of context, it's usually meaning more lowbrow, more kind of lower common denominator kind of attitude, trailer trash, things of that nature as an allegory for it. That's kind of the sense I got from it, at least from what he's trying to use it in that sense.
Yeah, you have to be true
Thank
to
you,
your
Fen.
story. You have to be real. So I totally agree with that. If that's
We got a
what
few more
you
people.
call vulgar.
Hi, it's Rich. How much audience awareness do you try to, I've heard other people tell me, you have to figure out who your audience is. And I wonder, in a movie like we just saw, whether you're taking a risk. I wonder if you're shooting yourself in the foot in trying to straddle between, being having a Christian message and having it appeal to a secular audience. Sometimes you can isolate yourselves from both. And I wondered if you've done any testing with this, with audiences to kind of, navigate that, to have a little bit more better idea of how you're going to market it.
Yeah, Rich, right?
Yes.
Right. Good comment. My best screening I ever had, I've screened it all over the country. We just screened it last weekend in Atlanta, Georgia, the weekend before in Texas, in Ohio. The best screening was in Los Angeles, California, a couple of hundred people, okay? I knew some of them, maybe a third of them, right? Industry people. But on this, I will tell you that there were very few Christians in this group. They were mostly atheists, Jews, Muslims, Hindus, whatever. So I knew what it was, and I said, I'm going to show you this. And I was ready for anything. I was ready for, you got to be crazy. I'm telling you, they came up to me and said, it's the best thing you've ever done, right? It's my lowest budget, but they say it's the best thing you've ever done. We don't know about this God you're talking about. We don't know about that. But what we do know about is they're taking our rights away, and so we can relate to it. So there's two things that they said. We don't understand this God, which tells me they don't really, the way they look at God is through church and religion and stuff from a distance, so they don't really know God, and neither do a lot of people in churches. And number two is they can relate to it because everyone can relate to having their rights taken away, of being censored. It doesn't matter who you are. So, Rich, it's a very good point. I didn't make this on the principles in which I taught my class. I did it because it was something I wanted to do. I could do it, okay? I just felt like God wanted me to do it. I personally believe that it is not made for a Christian audience. I believe it's made for people looking for truth who are Christians. There's a difference. Do you follow what I'm saying? So it's really, and it's funny because people go, there's a lot of Movie Guide, Ted Baer. Does anybody know who Ted Baer is from Movie Guide? Very well known. Movie Guide's been around for 50 years. And if he reviews your movie and gives you a good review, you need to send him your movie. You're up here. Well, he's a friend of mine. And I said, watch this movie, but not because we're friends. Be brutally honest and just tell me, or don't review it. I don't care. But he did watch it. He gave me a great review. You can go on movieguide.com. He said, because it's so much action, and someone else here said there's action. There's really no action in this movie except the guy getting shot. There is no action. Me running, right? I'm running. Call that action. But the story moves. Do you see what I'm saying? It's action in the story, okay? So this is not really an action movie. It's really a drama with emotions and real life wrapped around it, okay? Episode 2 is a drama, even more, even though it's action. Jason does the music in episode 2 and 3. And episode 3 is a drama. So it's really a drama with some action wrapped around it. Yeah.
Okay, and we're going to go on to this gentleman.
Name?
Is your name?
Chris Johnston. So you alluded to, we've seen episode 1, 2, and maybe 3 or 4. How far is this going?
Okay, so here, thank you, Chris, for saying that. By the way, Chris is a good filmmaker. He was at the last, what festival were we at? Yeah, it was a good show. Yeah, it was. Here's the way I'm making it. I'm making half-hour episodes, okay? And each episode ties to the other. There's 3 of them. It's a trilogy. So that when you watch the third one, you've watched a full feature, an hour and a half. So every 3 episodes completes a full cycle, but leaves it open for cliffhangers and for subplots. And so my goal is to do, 10 years worth of Last Evangelist, as long as God wants me to do it, based upon the current events of what's happening today, right? And so if something happens where you get, I know your character's name, but what's your name again? Maggie? Huh? Maggie.
Sure.
So if Maggie gets arrested because any girl that wears black coat is going to be put in jail, all of a sudden you're going to see a Maggie show up at the police station of what they're doing to Maggie. You notice the people with the Bible, right, in the police station? Well, in episode 2, I've got a lady at the police station, and she's dealing with her daughter, who's no longer a daughter, who's now a guy. In episode 3, the lady shows up, and she's arrested for assaulting a cross-dresser for reading something to her. So I'm always working something in that people can relate to or see what's going on. Not an agenda, just real life, because we as Christians, we get persecuted, and these are how, question? Or?
I have no question.
Oh, okay, all right.
But we have guys over here. Here's Chris again. Hi, Chris. Now this time you have to let go of the microphone. Okay, you got to give it back. I know you're really greedy about it.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about bringing an actual character that was in the news into, maybe the fella that, I think there's a few people in the news, but have you ever thought of incorporating those people into the storyline?
Yeah, episode 2 and 3 has a character called...
my God, this man won't give it back, David.
Episode 2 and 3 has a character called Fowler, Andrew Fowler. Andrew Fowler is head of the NAISD, the CDC, and he comes on and starts spewing nonsense about the vaccine. So, yes, you're right on. So he's in episode 2 and 3. When you're dealing with episodics on a low budget, I'm finding out something that I didn't know before, is you lose people, actors. So episode 2, I had to rewrite because I lost actors. But it all worked out the best. It really worked out for the best. I don't want to keep doing it that way. I want to keep my actors and keep them going. But it's very difficult, if you're not on a big budget to be able to,
Well, you make them famous and they move on.
Yeah, or you make them mad and they move on.
Okay. We have another question here. Go ahead.
Yes. Now, when it comes down to black film, see, like I had to learn that when you're in the black community, they'll let you know this is terrible. They'll let you know. So that's why they gravitated towards like Tyler Perry.
Uh-huh.
You see what I'm saying? Because it was like that's what the black community is. Mm-hmm. So when we was talking about, she was talking about like Chicago. Mm-hmm. See, black folks will know that ain't Chicago. That's not Chicago at all.
You don't know how to be
so
black.
So how do you as a Christian, how do you come across to take a Chicago, Southside Chicago, and make it feel like that's a gang in Southside Chicago?
Yeah.
Go to the hospital there, man. They don't get treated.
Okay. It's sculpted through the vision of the writer and the director. If you've got what I call a pussycat director and a canary writer, you're going to end up with something that's just a comedy, because they're not going to let the truth be told, okay? I'll share something with you. And does the name Rudy Ray Moore ring a bell? Rudy Ray. Dude, are you black? And you don't know Rudy Ray Moore? All right, well, you and I have to talk. I'm just listen. Rudy Ray Moore, write that down, Rudy Ray Moore. Rudy Ray Moore was one of my heroes growing up as a kid. Now, I was a weird kid. I was beat and knocked against the wall, and something was wrong with my brain. And so I would watch strange things. And while the other kids were out watching things, I was watching Rudy Ray Moore. I would rent his videos, VHSs. David's Googling him now. Rudy Ray Moore was the first guy to write, direct, star, do his own music. He was the godfather of rap, okay? I'm talking late 60s throughout the early 70s. And I'm getting to my point here. Black guy. And his whole cast was black, and it was all about the black culture. He had a lady called Queen Bee, right? And his budgets were probably $100,000, a very low budget, but he didn't care because he would sell them himself, out of the back of his car or whatever. But what happened was I would watch these movies, and I'd see this culture of this guy who was, he used the F word every other word, and his rapping was, and you'd see the boom mic up here in the shot, and all kinds of crazy stuff. So I fell in love with Rudy Ray Moore. He became kind of like a Clint Eastwood. Later on in life, I started watching Clint Eastwood, Charles Bronson, but Rudy Ray was a kind of a hero to me because he made his own movies, right? Well, it just so happens, I got into distribution. Do you remember I told you I was in distribution? And in Hollywood, I had friends. I started with Isaac Hayes in Prime Target, and Jim Brown, remember football player Jim Brown? He was in Twisted Justice. Does anybody remember Ike Turner? Ike Turner, good friend of mine. I worked with Ike on developing some scripts and stuff. Well, we got together and decided to do some black exploitation movies, right? And so, therefore, we put together a package, which we never filmed, but we put together the scripts and everything with like 5 of us. Black exploit. Wilt Chamberlain was part of it, too. Wilt Chamberlain. This guy's a big, tall dude. He was with the Harlem Globetrotters, right? Harlem Globetrotters, yeah. Okay, I was going to sell this because I knew the community David's talking about was hungry for action films. Because, why? Because friends of mine like, what's the guy's name? Fred...
Flintstone?
No, not Fred Flintstone, no. But anyway, who was the guy that played Shaft? Who played Shaft? Yeah, thank you, Richard Roundtree, yeah. All these movies were doing very well, so I thought we'd do low budget, this type thing. So let me get back to what you were talking about. When a Christian makes these they don't understand the culture. Okay, I don't care if it's black, I don't care if it's Irish, I don't care if it's whatever it is. They don't take time to understand the culture, to bring somebody into it that can, like I did with my group, I brought guys that knew the culture, right? And do it right. What they do is they do it through their eyes of some white dude who, is afraid to go down to the bad part of Chicago. That's not a filmmaker. That's a guy embarrassing the industry, right? You have to understand the culture and get real. And it's not just this culture, it's any culture. Where are you from originally? Michigan. Lord have mercy, I don't know anything about that place.
You're from Michigan, and
that's
so is she.
Scary. Okay, you have to, if I'm making a movie about Michigan, I've got to go to Michigan. I've got to find out what's in Michigan. Know the terrain, because, and then I make a movie. Not about a book I read, right? You're going to go, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. So anyway, David, I don't know if I answered your question, but be real, show the real stuff, I personally would love to make a movie about Diddy, about what's going on. I would love to make that film.
You may not make it through, though.
Huh?
We might not see you again.
No, but I would. I could make that and show the darkness, but not make it exploitive, if you know what I'm saying. That's kind of...
Because one of the pastors lived in Southside Chicago and downtown Minneapolis, Harlem. So it's like, how do you... Because, I know when you're dealing with that type of stuff, black folks know that's not what Harlem was.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I've been to Harlem, and I've been many times to Harlem because I grew up in New York, and I've been to Chicago 25 years, so I understand the whole culture of it, but I'm like, man, that would be hard to try to put that in as a Christian, man, how do you pull that off knowing I've been there when the gangs were right there, 5,000 of them, or this or that. It's like, man, how do you pull that off?
Yeah.
Well, I think it comes down to, Chris Johnston. I think it really comes down to your passion for relating to to that group. And so your passion comes to the details, drilling in, talking, interviewing all those people that lived in that moment and trying to extract all those small details. The more details you can pull out and put into your scene, that's going to be the bridge to helping people say, oh, that's real. Sorry.
And Last Evangelist, a couple of things, and of course, I've made a lot of cop movies and stuff like that, but I went to the police department, to their SWAT division, and I had my actors spend a day with the guys there. And I asked them, I said, what would you do if you actually had little kids and men, women, and children? What would you do? Would you stand there like that? Would you really do that? And they said, yes. Because if we're ordered to do that, we don't care if cockroaches come out. We're supposed to be in that position. Do you follow what I'm saying? And so I did a lot of research on this little stuff. it's a little movie, it's a little film, but it was important to me to have a few things. I don't want people looking at me and just going, oh, this is just stupid. You ever watch a cop movie, and you go, especially when they point the gun like that, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's embarrassing.
Well, how about an AR-15 will go right through the metal in your car and you're standing behind it? But I'm ex-Army. I look at them
exactly.
like crazy.
We probably have 2 more minutes because Sean gave me 5 minutes. Do you have
9 minutes ago? You are so detail-oriented.
Sorry.
We really like you.
All right. Well, okay. Well, I appreciate it. Again, if you guys, tomorrow I'll talk about distribution, but if you'll go to davidheavener.tv, if you do have a movie, get it to me. I got stuff out on the table if you want to buy it, take it home with you, whatever. If you want to get me your film, I'll give you a card. It's got my email on it. You can send it to me. And then also check out the crowdfunding, how I did it, because I think it might be something you're interested in, too. lastevangelist.com. Yeah, I'll be
what time will you
that.
be on tomorrow then?
Huh?
Do you know what time you'll be on tomorrow?
I'm not sure, Sean. 2.
2 o'clock. And we just want to thank you so much for coming and speaking with us. We
Lori.
appreciate you so
it.
much.
Thank
God
you
bless
so
you.
much.
Here you go,
Thank
Sean.
thank
Congratulations.
Thank you, Sean. Appreciate it. God bless you.
Oh, you take that one.
All
Okay.
right, so, no, Lori, you can stay here. That's fine. So I just want to thank you guys for hanging out here. We got 2 filmmakers that we're going to show their films next in the fellowship room, and they're going to do Q&A about those. And then we'll continue just playing some films after those that are in that line. We're about a half hour behind in this room, I think. No, we're 1 hour behind. But it's only a 1 hour feature that we'll be showing in here, so that's good. We were talking about doing something at 5 o'clock, but some people might be hungry at that time and they want to explore. And we're going to do a panel discussion here, so if you want to, we could do that. This could be kind of like a democracy right now. We don't have to do that. So I'll let you guys help in the programming. If you guys want just time off after we do the Q&A with the short films, that's up to you guys.
I found that by letting them explore,
Yes.
it really creates a bond between us all.
Yes.
And I found that from last time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm willing.
Touch the ground of Buffalo. Yes. Yeah, I'm encouraging you guys, if you guys want to go to the falls, whatever. You're not offending me, you know. We create this for you guys to come and work together and talk together and learn together the process of filmmaking and encourage each other to get to the next level wherever you're at. So that's why we're doing this. But we're also opening the doors to people that are locally that might be interested in a faith-based film. And this area is not faith-based area, okay? I've lived here most of my life, and the last 14 years I've been trying to bring, not Christian film, so to speak, but encouraging people to use their gifts for God and to bring glory to Him. And everybody's making a slasher flick instead with no gospel message whatsoever, so...
And you should really add that you are one of the people that watches all the movies. You watch all those movies. He watches every one of the movies that come through, and I watched most of them too. And we also make decisions by looking at categories, you know. And when you were talking about, if I see, they say there's a family-based movie, and they're trying to pull it off as Christian, sometimes in the end of the movie they'll put, Jesus picture or something. They really try to slide things in. They really do. It's a lot of fun to watch. I'm like, where is the Christian? Oh, they're killing me. This movie is killing me. So, you know, sometimes I die. But I would never vote for you to be in a family-friendly if you got swear words or anything like that, and I'm just not going to. You know, so, I mean, we have categories that we go by, and the last one is there any faith based in it? And no, there wasn't, and it was just, so I'm sorry, Sean, sometimes you put me through heck going and watching those movies, but thank you.
Yeah, we did, you know, we do turn back quite a few films, and just a short story before we let you go. Somebody sent me a film called Lucifer, and it was just about Lucifer and honoring Lucifer. And I emailed them. I says, do you realize this is a Christian film festival? You know, just to kind of see what they would reply. They never reply back, but I'm like, well, thank you for your submission fee anyways. You know, you're supporting the cause to spread the gospel, even though you're an atheist or Satan worshiper or whatever you are, I don't know. So that's very interesting. Some of the people don't really read the description of the festival, what it's about. You know, they don't even research, okay, these are the categories, these are the nominees, the winners, and they don't get the idea. We put trailers up just so people can understand this is the kind of content that we're looking for submissions for, not what you think would fit like, oh yeah. And one other thing, you know, I work locally in the film industry, and, you know, they all know I'm the Christian guy, but they don't want to do Christian films, so to speak. But one guy just nonchalantly says, oh yeah, we were going to make a Christian film one time. You know, we're planning on doing that next. And they won like a slasher film, you know, just recently. So they just think it's just another category of films to make, and it's not something to take seriously, you know. So you got all kinds. I'm sure Hollywood, you know, you can tell all the people out there. I live in San Diego, and I know everything goes out there, and everything's okay, and oh, cool, you're a Christian, that's nice. But that's nothing to them, you know. It's just another religion, it's another ideology. I'm still learning English. So anyways, programming is flexible, you know, throughout this weekend. Sometimes we'll do an audible, and just based on how it's ebbing and flowing throughout the weekend. But pretty much, you know, with the workshops, we want to stay on point. A little behind, but we're going to go support our filmmakers. We got snacks in the kitchen. If you want to snack on something, we got in the fridge. Make sure you check that out. We got fruits, vegetables, cheese dish, you know, some really good fresh things to eat. And then explore if you want, you know, after we support each other. So I'm going to pray because this is a Christian film festival. I do want to pray. Because something that I've been praying on my own, but we want to make sure that this whole purpose is to give glory to God only, not to man. Even though we're here to encourage each other in the faith and each other's craft, we are giving glory to God, what we're trying to do here. So, Father, in the name of Jesus, I just thank you for your perfect will for our life. Father, just continue to show us what that is. You've designed us each individually for a purpose. Father, we want to live that purpose out. We want to create things that give you glory and give you your name a greater name and make it more famous, Father. And we want our lives to also reflect that lifestyle that you want us to live and to bring glory to you. And Father, I just thank you for all the provision and all the food and everything else that you're bringing the people here. We ask for those people that are still curious to figure out what's going on with this festival, Father, that you stir in their hearts to come out and watch some of these films and interact with the filmmakers. And bless tomorrow and Sunday. And we just thank you for the win in advance for the Buffalo Bills. In Jesus' name, amen. Go ahead, start running it, and we'll slow it down.
Should I bring these down?
Yeah. Start the movie and then bring it down.